admit right off the top, I always want to be honest, I'm in a very weird mood today. Very strange mood. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of sad. I'm all over the place because I'm flying to London in like 6 hours, and I hate flying. I don't like flying. I'm scared of flying. I'm terrified of flying. And not only am I flying, but I'm flying to Europe. Like, who the hell would want to go to Europe? I'm going to Europe.
Lots of people.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to go to Europe?
I go every year almost.
Every year.
It's like history. You learn something new. Iceland is technically Europe. So
It is.
You just go and you enjoy. And, by the way, you get to watch a baseball game.
That's right.
The newly resurgent Mets, 6-4 their last 6. Cruising. Won a series finally.
Yeah.
Bullpen didn't give it up, even though they threatened to.
They tried, that's for damn sure. But I'm going to London. I'm very, very nervous, excited, and mad all at the same time. Lot to do today, though. Jacob Trouba has responded to fans that have issues with him. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Maybe some thoughts on the New York Mets. But last night at Yankee Stadium, and I admit, I'm biased towards this. Like, I think my most favorite thing to watch. Is that correct grammar? My most favorite thing to watch?
Sounds
all right.
Most favorite. Yeah, I think that's right.
My most favorite.
Because favoritist doesn't make any sense.
I like favoritist, though.
Right. It just feels like a made-up word.
My most favoritist
most favorite.
My most favorite thing to watch in all of sports. Like, you can go football, hockey, basketball, baseball. My favorite thing to watch in sports is a dominant starting pitcher. And I know I'm not alone because there are times, rare times in the history of our city where one athlete can just take over, where one athlete's performance can captivate a city. Before I understood sports, I heard that Doc Gooden did that to the city in 1985. I remember firsthand Matt Harvey doing it to this city in 2013. Many eons ago, the greatest pitcher that ever pitched in this city, Christy Mathewson, did it for the New York Baseball Giants. George Thomas Seaver did it for the New York Mets. Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry, did it at times for the New York Yankees. I don't even think Garrett Cole has done what we're witnessing right now from Luis Gil. And what we're witnessing right now from Luis Gil is not just dominance every 5 days, not just a guy who is literally unhittable. He doesn't give up base hits. But we're watching a story. You know, you're big on the story.
Yes.
Like, I think a part of what made Linsanity amazing was not just what he was doing for the Knicks, but was the story, where he came from, the college he went to, his background, the fact he was released. Like, that added to the Linsanity story. Can we take a second to just breathe in who in the damn hell Luis Gil is? Here is a kid that came off Tommy John surgery. Here's a kid that the Yankees sent to minor league camp a week into spring training. This is a kid that the Yankees acquired for a player they DFA'd in Jay Cave. Luis Gil is a story. Yes. Like, his story is amazing. His performance is amazing. And what I'm curious about, because, again, I'm a sucker for this, man. I love dominant pitching. When does this, what he's doing every 5 days, captivate our city the way Jeremy Lin did, the way Matt Harvey did, the way years ago Doc Gooden did? Because when you look at his background, when you look at how he was acquired, and then you look at his dominance every 5 days, I'd argue, Tiki, he's already there.
Well, he gives you that excitement that you want to see in young players. When your team is it's different when your team is bad. Because when your team is bad, the only thing you're looking for is the silver lining in the young player. Like, tell me what my future is going to be. We stink, but you know what? I can't wait to see Jacob deGrom type of situation. But with the Yankees, because they're so dominant, and it seems like they win every single night, when you have a young player that's playing this well, it's almost... It's like the gravy, and it's the most delicious gravy you've ever had, because you know you don't have to worry about Juan Soto and Darren Judge and even Stanton right now, but Volpe. Like, you know that they're going to score runs, that you're going to get entertained by the offense. But when you have a young player, it's like the gods are shining heavenly, like heaven down upon you, right? It just feels like, what did we do to deserve this as well? Because usually this doesn't happen unless you're bad, you draft someone, you have to bring him up, and he happens to be good at a young age. This kid feels like I don't know, what's the kid from Rookie of the Year, Sean? Like,
Henry Rowan Gardner.
Henry Rowan Gardner, right? Nothing can go wrong. Dude is unbelievable and exciting to watch.
I think
you want to watch him.
I think you hit on it, though. I think you hit on why, as we sit here in the middle of June with Luis Gil leading the American League in ERA, and after what happened last night with Seth Lugo, I'll give you a spoiler, he didn't pitch that well. Luis Gil is now the favorite to win the American League Cy Young. That's just the reality. He is the favorite to win the American League Cy Young. He is a lock to be the American League Rookie of the Year. And through 12 starts, granted it's only 12 starts, a lot can change, he is putting up numbers that don't make sense. Like, he is giving up, and I'll tell you the stat that jumps out at me more than anything else. He is giving up 3.9 hits per 9 innings. It's like, what? Like, how the hell is that even humanly possible? He's given up 3 hits in 69 and a third innings. Like, he is literally unhittable. So he's having a Cy Young season so far. He is having an All-Star season so far. He is having a Rookie of the Year season so far. Mentioned this yesterday. There's only one guy in the history of the sport that's won Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in the same season, in Fernando Valenzuela. And he's doing this in a dominant way. And I think you hit on it. The Yankees are too good. Because when Matt Harvey captivated New York City, he was the only thing worth watching.
Yeah.
When Jeremy Lin captivated New York City, he was saving the Knicks in a weird way. Like, he was the guy that brokered the MSG Comcast deal or Time Warner, whatever the heck company it was. Like, he was like a savior. And sometimes that's what it takes for an athlete to captivate this city. Like, Mike White for 2 weeks was captivating New York City.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito last year was captivating New York City. And I think the connection between all that is those teams needed saving, and the Yankees don't need any saving.
No, they don't. But the thing, when you bring out the Mike Whites and Tommy DeVitos, it always felt like at some point there was going to be a ceiling that they ran up against. Mike White, as great as you thought he was in the moment, you knew that he was capped, right? You knew that there was something that was screwed on up there that he wasn't gonna be able to break through. Luis Gil feels like maybe we're not even scratching the surface
Right.
yet.
He's 26. He's a rookie.
He's 26. He's a rookie, but you haven't even seen him develop into a pitcher yet, right? He's just doing this kind of naturally. Now, maybe you give credit to the pitching farm, as they like to say, down in minor leagues, and helped him get back from rehab, and he learned some stuff by being injured, right? By having, to work his way back from a Tommy John situation. But at the same time, I don't feel like he's anywhere near his ceiling.
That's the exciting part.
Exactly. And so I think when you bring up some of these other examples, Jeremy Lin, we kind of knew at some point he was not going to be great. Mike White, you knew he wasn't going to be a superstar. Maybe he could win you some games. Tommy DeVito, there was a reason that he wasn't drafted, right, and had to work his way through the practice squad. Luis Gil feels like he has star written all over him, and we haven't scratched the surface yet.
Here's the real test of this, and I asked the Yankee fan. I ask you this question because I'm a geek. I admit it. I love this dominant pitching. Like, I go to a lot of games, but the way I would kind of answer my own question I'm about to ask is sometimes I would tell my wife, I'm going to this game because this guy is pitching.
Yes.
Jacob deGrom is pitching. I'm at that game. All right? I prefer to be at that game.
Yes.
There are a lot of people out there. They work their asses off. They're thrilled by this, news that came out today. Basically, it was purely politics, but who cares? Sometimes you get something you want, and that is we're not going to have congestion pricing in New York City, at least not yet. Though we'll get it eventually. When it's a non-election year, we'll get it.
Okay, just make sure we don't have to, as long as we don't go above a certain area. Right? That's all I want.
Well, that's what they're doing, right?
Well, it's below.
Below 60th,
but
right?
now there's also, if we don't go above Canal.
Right.
Let us be, or Houston, let us be fine.
You should just run for office and do this
let
yourself.
Us be fine. Because I come in the Holland Tunnel, I go 3 blocks, I'm at work, I go 3 blocks, and I'm out.
Right, so if you don't drive a certain amount of blocks, you should not be. Either way, our money is valuable. So to spend your money going to Yankee Stadium or going to Citi Field, a lot of times you need to be convinced to go. Like, I'm going for that giveaway. I'm going to honor this player. For Yankee fans, look, you see it every night. They draw hugely. They had 37,000 people last night on a beautiful Tuesday night. They get huge crowds. Here's the test on Luis Gil becoming the guy I just described. Not just somebody who's got great numbers, and we talk about him and give him all the platitudes, but a guy that moves the needle. And I ask you, the Yankee fan listening, 888-808-1019. It's our brand new toll-free number, 888-808-1019. Are you willing now to go to Yankee Stadium squarely to watch Luis Gil? Are you going to spend the $150, the parking, the tickets, and say, I got to watch that guy pitch? That's the ultimate. Because there were people, when it was Matt Harvey, who said, Happy Harvey Day. It was a term. I'm going to watch Matt Harvey. We would see the bump in attendance. You saw it with Doc in 1985. You didn't see it as much with Jacob deGrom, which is a whole nother story. But even, Jacob deGrom's pitching. I need to go. Have we gotten there yet? Or are Yankee fans saying, you know what? We got a kick-ass team. I'm just going to go because I want to see the Yankees. Can Luis Gil get to the point, Yankee fans, where you are deciding on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night or this Sunday night, I got to be in the ballpark to watch that. And that's when you know you've made it as a matinee act, because I sit here from my perch as a baseball fan, and I tell you, I look at these 12 starts, and I start to compare it to Matt Harvey. And I start to compare it to Doc, which is impossible because Doc would throw so many more innings. It's just a different sport. And you see dominance. Yeah. And you see something that's box office. So I'm not lecturing anybody. You should spend the money when you want to spend the money. I'm more curious. When does what we're witnessing become box office the way other athletes in this town have?
When does it? I think it's definitely after the break when it becomes necessary. It's getting there now, but I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it, because it's still early. It's still only the beginning of June. And so dominance has to have legs before it feels real.
Or you need a moment. And I got to give a lot of credit to the person who answered this question and basically told me in my brain, he's right. It's our intern, Brandon. Welcome, Brandon. Our intern, Brandon, because we were talking about this. He actually said, what do you open up with today? I said, I'll tell you exactly what we're opening up with today. Luis Gil. And I said, I wonder when he becomes box office. I wonder when he becomes must-watch. And Brandon said to me, isn't his next start against the Dodgers? And I said, yes, it is. Oh. And you're right. He's right.
He better have that moment. Having that moment against the Twins, it's
national TV.
Yes.
ESPN, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Now, look, everybody who's at the game, you're going to that game because you want to see Yankees-Dodgers. But if he goes out and continues this dominance, and he does it on a national stage, and he does it against that team, I think we come out of that with Luis Gil getting a cool nickname like Linsanity. I think that's when this moment begins. So Brandon's right. I give him all the credit because he's the one who said it. Yeah. And I think it makes a lot of sense when you start to think about it. Sometimes, like Jeremy Lin had his moment. Like, maybe it was against the Nets, or maybe it was against the Lakers. Maybe that was really the moment. Or maybe it was the game winner against the Toronto Raptors, right?
Right.
Mike White's moment was so brief, I don't know if I could count it.
Yeah. I think Linsanity's was the Lakers game.
Probably.
Because that one, I felt compelled to go. And again, it was the opponent.
Right.
It's exactly what Brandon was talking about.
It's the opponent?
It was the opponent.
It's who's in the, like for Harvey, you know when Matt Harvey had his moment? And I wrote about this in My Mets Bible, which you can order right now on Amazon.
Or you can get the audiobook as well.
That's true. It's now available, the audiobook. The Harvey's Better game. He was playing a game against the Washington Nationals, and his opponent was Steven Strasburg. And having him be better than Steven Strasburg kind of led to this Harvey's better, and it became like our rallying cry as we were leaving Citi Field, and I think that was the moment for him. So sometimes you need that one moment, and having an 8-1 record and having a league-leading 1.82 ERA and making 12 starts and not allowing any hits basically and striking out 11 per 9 innings, that's all good, but shutting out the Dodgers for 6 1/3, that's what makes this heel mania, or whatever you want to call it.
You're slightly early, Evan.
Go ahead.
And I only know this because I had to do the math last night. I have upcoming tickets to a Braves game. I'm going to miss him by one day. Now I'm officially disappointed I'm missing him. He's on track to pitch Game 2 of the Subway Series at Citi Field. A game that, despite the Mets thinking, I know the Dodgers are a bigger deal, in this town, we all know the nights of Subway Series still generate the buzz, even if a team is bad. Versus the Mets in their house, which, all due respect, a lineup that could be whimpering. If Luis Gil goes out there and throws like a one-hitter in a Subway Series game with the crowd buzzing, that point forward, it's all about Gil this summer.
You know why I can't agree with that?
Because how bad the Mets have been.
With the Mets!
But it doesn't matter that the opponent stinks.
I know what you're saying, Sean.
It's about this town. This town is going to care more about that game than Yankees-Dodgers that night.
The L.A. Dodgers, in a lot of ways, they're the boss. You know what I mean?
And they spent the money.
Yeah.
They are the new evil empire.
Yeah.
Right? The one that will spend no dollar or leave no stone unturned to be great. That is the Dodgers right now.
Well,
and
also,
they're doing it with private equity money, so it doesn't even make any damn sense.
No.
And they don't care. And so it is what it is. But the Dodgers are the team that you think has the best chance, right? Or you look at the stars that they brought in and say they should have the best chance. And so if you can best them, you can best Shohei Ohtani.
Well, you know what? The other reason, and it's basically to carry over your point, there are moments, there's a few of them. Christy Mathewson, Carl Hubble back in the day in the All-Star game, Doc Gooden in the All-Star game, Jacob deGrom in the All-Star game, where you strike out like these legends back to back to back.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that usually in a regular season game because what team has 5 legends in a row? The Dodgers do. So when Luis Gil is striking out Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani back to back to back, that's like this epic, oh my God, this is real kind of moment.
And especially if he does it for multiple times through the lineup.
Right.
Right? Not just doing it once. You do it once and you do it again. And
especially against those guys.
And then they're flummoxed and it's like, who is this kid? What is this changeup I'm seeing?
I think that game and that opportunity is that moment. But the other thing Tiki hits on, and this is a good thing, this is a compliment to the Yankees, is that when you're this good, and the Yankees right now are this well-oiled machine that win every single night, one player doesn't rise above it because they are so good. And we'll go through some of the reasons why they're this good, but they are a box office attraction on their own. So sometimes it's tough to separate yourself the way Matt Harvey did in 2013. Now, the Mets were good in 85, but Doc Gooden in 1985. It's tough to become that when you're on pace to win 110 games. They are so good. But what we can't do is not appreciate what we're witnessing. And I can't tell you this is going to continue the rest of the year. Nobody can. But I could tell you in this moment, as I sat there last night, the geek that I am watching this, and then combing through his numbers, I'm like, this is freaking unbelievable. This is amazing what we're witnessing. And the Yankees have had a lot of great players over the years, a lot of great players. We just witnessed Aaron Judge set the American League non-steroid home run record. We have seen a franchise that has presented to you a lot of great players. But the thing they don't present to you nearly as much as even the Mets, the dominant, I need to watch this starting pitching. That's not as much in the DNA in the history of the New York Yankees. It's just not. And Luis Gil right now, through a 12-start stretch, is producing that kind of box office attraction.
Well, they've had it a little bit because of Cole, even Nestor's season, but this one because he's so young. And because it feels like there's still so much to explore or be exposed with him that we don't know the story. Like, unless you know the story, you don't know the story. And he's forcing you to know who he is. That's what makes him so interesting. Just like Nestor did a couple of years ago. He forced you to look at him, to watch his uniqueness, his mannerisms, his quirkiness, his delayed pitches, all these things that he was doing. And it worked, and he was an all-star. Luis Gil is the same way, but he's not doing it with any gimmicks. He's doing it with just being dominant.
Speaking of gimmicks, since Sean Morash is starting to not be as broken, he'll come back and tell us the 5 nicknames that Luis Gil will have to define this era that we are now in. We had Linsanity. We had Happy Harvey Day. What the hell is it for Luis Gil? We'll find out. Plus, we'll get to your phone calls. When does he become the kind of attraction that you pay to watch as a Yankee fan? 888-808-1019. We'll get to your phone calls. Plus, we know the Yankees are awesome, but why? There's a theory being floated out by a lot of people that I'm having a tough time buying. We'll get to it coming up live from the Town Fair Tire Studios.